Welcome back to Silent Conspiracy. Tonight we journey into a real-time survival horror story, one of the most dramatic rescue operations ever attempted in modern India, where 41 workers became trapped in a collapsed Himalayan tunnel and held the entire nation in thrall for 17 harrowing days. Picture this. November 12th, 2023. Early morning darkness in Uttarkashi district, Uttarakhand. A 4.5-kilometer tunnel under construction suddenly rumbles. Landslide triggers a catastrophic cavern. In an instant, 41 construction workers are entombed behind nearly 200 feet of rubble-crushed rock. Twisted metal and debris blocking every possible exit. They have oxygen for hours. No way out. No one knows if they'll survive the night. What unfolds over the next 17 days is an unprecedented international rescue operation involving 12 government agencies, international experts from Thailand and Australia, Indian Air Force helicopters, cutting-edge drilling machines, and ultimately ancient coal miners called rat hole operators who dig manually through narrow spaces that no modern machine can reach. This is the Silkyara Tunnel Collapse rescue, a story of impossible odds overcome by human determination, technological ingenuity, and a nation united in prayer. On November 12, 2023, at 5:30 a.m., construction workers at the Silkyara Tunnel in Uttarkashi were performing routine reprofiling work approximately 260 to 265 meters inside the tunnel from the Silkyara entrance. The tunnel, part of India's ambitious Chardam project, 853 crore initiative to connect for major Hindu pilgrimage sites via modernized highways through the Himalayas, was under construction by engineering firm Navayuga Engineering Company Ltd. What they didn't know was that they were working in one of the Himalayas' most geologically unstable zones. The tunnel location crossed a major geological fault line, the main central thrust, where the Earth's crust was fractured, weak, and prone to sudden shifts. The rock composition consisted of metasilt stone and phyllites, described by engineers as extremely weak rock mass. At approximately 5:30 a.m., without warning, a massive landslide outside the tunnel triggered a partial collapse. Approximately 60 meters of tunnel measuring roughly 200 feet caved in catastrophically. Debris consisting of rocks, boulders, twisted metal reinforcement rods, and pulverized earth created an impenetrable barrier. In seconds, 41 workers found themselves entombed. The collapse cut off their oxygen supply. Communication with the outside world was severed. Rescue workers on the surface heard the deafening rumble, then silence, the terrifying silence of a mountain that had just swallowed 41 people. The first hours after the collapse were chaos mixed with desperation. State authorities launched Operation Zindagi, Operation Life, a massive rescue initiative involving multiple agencies. The National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, State Disaster Response Force, SDRF, Indian Army, and numerous other organizations converged on the remote tunnel site. But the reality was grim. The trapped workers had limited oxygen, minimal supplies, and no clear path of rescue. Families of the workers began arriving at the site, their faces etched with terror, unable to do anything but wait and pray. One of the trapped workers, Vijay Horo, would later be the first to emerge. Another, Vishal from Himachal Pradesh, described the initial days. The first 5 to 6 days were difficult. However, we got proper food and our morale was strong. But those early days were terrifying. 41 men trapped in darkness, not knowing if they would ever see daylight again. Rescue teams immediately began inserting pipes into the debris as a small 6-inch pipe through which oxygen could be pumped and supplies delivered. Within days, communication was established using walkie-talkies. Families were allowed brief conversations once daily to keep morale up. But the real challenge was clearing the rubble. Rescue engineers began preparing to drill through the 57 meters of accumulated debris to create an escape passage. An advanced American auger drilling machine, weighing 24 tons and capable of drilling at 5 meters per hour, was transported to the site. It represented the best technology available for the operation. For 6 days, the drill made progress, slowly boring through rock and debris. But then came the first setback. Hard metal rods embedded in the rubble brought the high-capacity auger machine to a halt. The metal obstructed the drill bit, necessitating use of diamond bit machines to cut through the rods. The drill was adjusted, and work resumed, but the speed had slowed dramatically. As days turned into a week with the workers still trapped, India turned to international expertise. Australian tunneling expert Arnold Dix, president of the International Tunneling and Underground Space Association, was flown in as a consultant. Dix had spent many days and nights alongside rescue teams, advising on the most effective extraction methods given the Himalayan terrain's unpredictability. The Indian Air Force played a crucial role, airlifting the heavy drilling equipment to the remote site in multiple helicopter sorties. The operation required unprecedented coordination between civilian, military, and international teams, all working toward a single objective: extracting 41 workers alive from a mountain's tomb. On November 25th, after nearly 2 weeks of drilling, the unthinkable occurred. The main drilling machine broke down completely and became stuck inside the tunnel after successfully drilling through 47 meters of debris. The machine had reached approximately 9 meters from breakthrough, but now it was inoperable, with crucial work still remaining. The situation seemed dire. The primary rescue tool had failed, with victory tantalizingly close. Rescue commanders faced a critical decision: attempt to repair and restart the machine, or pursue alternative methods. Multiple agencies intensified alternate approaches. Vertical drilling from above by Sakluj Yalvadiat Nigam reached 32 meters depth. Oil and Natural Gas Corporation prepared vertical drilling from a different angle. Rail Vikas Nigam worked on laying additional supply pipes. Multiple drilling teams attacked the problem simultaneously from different directions. On November 27th to 28th, as conventional technology reached its limits, rescue commanders made a bold decision: bring in rat-hole miner skilled operators who specialize in hand-digging narrow tunnels through mountainous terrain to extract coal. A team of approximately 6 rat-hole miners arrived from Delhi and Jhansi. These men possessed a rare ancient skill, using handheld tools, hammers, chisels, and specialized excavation implements. They could navigate and dig through extremely narrow passages and hard rock that modern machines struggled with. Team leader Wakil Hazen told media, "We had past experience of excavating small tunnels for laying long sewer and water pipelines, but nothing of the scale encountered during the tunnel rescue. Yet these men, working under Indian Army's supervision, undertook the final assault on the debris. What happened next seemed almost miraculous. The rat-hole miners, using purely manual methods, broke through the remaining debris and pushed pipes forward to the trapped workers in less than 24 hours. Experts described the feat as extraordinary they had accomplished in one day what modern machinery had struggled with for over 2 weeks. On the evening of November 28, 2023, the final breakthrough came. At approximately 7:28 p.m. IST, rescue teams led by the National Disaster Response Force (NDRF) began extracting workers one by one on wheeled stretchers through the 90-centimeter, 3-foot-wide escape pipe that had been inserted through the debris. The first worker to emerge was Vijay Horo, who was wheeled out to cheers and tears. Emotions ran high as rescue personnel, who had literally moved mountains to reach these workers, witnessed their safe extraction after 17 agonizing days of captivity. By late evening, on November 28th, all 41 workers had been successfully extracted. They emerged exhausted but physically healthy, a remarkable outcome given their ordeal. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and Union Minister Jen V.K. Singh were present at the site to welcome them. Garlands were placed around the workers' necks. Local residents distributed sweets and lit firecrackers outside the tunnel entrance. The nation that had watched in collective suspense for 17 days erupted in celebration. The rescued workers were transferred to a community health center in Chinyalisar for initial medical assessment. An official from the NDRF stated, "Their condition is first class and absolutely fine. Just like yours or mine, there is no concern about their health." On November 29th, all 41 workers were airlifted by Indian Air Force CH-47 Chinook helicopters to IIMS Rishikesh for comprehensive medical evaluation. By December 1st, 40 of the 41 workers were declared medically fit and cleared to return home. The workers, mostly in their 20s, came from India's poorest states: 15 from Jharkhand, 8 from Uttar Pradesh, 5 each from Orissa and Bihar, 3 from West Bengal, 2 each from Uttarakhand and Assam, and 1 from Himachal Pradesh. They were migrant laborers seeking livelihoods, whose families camped outside the tunnel for 17 days, their faith in rescue never wavering. The operation involved 12 government agencies and unprecedented coordination between state, central, military, international, and private resources. The cost, though not publicly detailed, was estimated in the hundreds of crores given the machinery, personnel, and international expertise mobilized. Indian Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari admitted, "There were lessons to be learned from the accident. We're going to conduct a safety audit of the tunnel now." Geologists noted that the tunnel had been constructed along a major fault line in extremely weak rock-critical oversights that contributed to the collapse. The tunnel lacked escape shafts for emergency evacuation, a critical design flaw exposed by the disaster. Future tunnel construction in the Himalayas would need to incorporate such safeguards. By April 16, 2025, the Silkyara Tunnel breakthrough was finally achieved, with the two tunnel ends meeting. Restoration of the collapsed section was completed, and the tunnel was expected to be operational within 1 year after final finishing work. The Silkyara rescue became globally recognized as one of the most successful, technically complex rescue operations ever executed. It demonstrated Indian ingenuity, international cooperation, and the triumph of human determination over seemingly impossible odds. The Silkyara Tunnel rescue asks us profound questions. How do we balance infrastructure development with geological and environmental safety? Can modern technology always solve human problems, or do we sometimes need ancient wisdom, the rat hole miners' handheld skills to succeed where machines fail? Most importantly, what does it mean that 41 migrant workers from India's poorest states were valued highly enough that an entire nation mobilized to save them, yet these same workers often lack basic workplace safety protections? What do you think? Was this a triumph of rescue capability? Or does the tunnel's cause expose how development priorities sometimes override safety? Should infrastructure projects in geologically unstable areas proceed despite risks, or should protecting workers take precedence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this exploration of the Silkyara Tunnel rescue where human courage and ingenuity rescued 41 from a mountain-esque grip inspired you, hit like, subscribe to Silent Conspiracy, and ring the bell. Next time, we'll investigate another case where the boundaries between triumph and tragedy blur. Until then, stay vigilant, and remember that sometimes the most extraordinary human achievements occur when ordinary people refuse to accept defeat, no matter how impossible the odds.